Nobody votes you the champion. You can't buy the championship. You have to earn it.
When you win a championship, it kind of validates you.
For me, it's some of the best times of my life, you know, a time where we put a lot of hard work and effort in and reap a reward that was lasting.
And watching the one shining moment and him saying, "We did it, coach," and it was, yeah, we did it.
This is a title to remember, MSU's championship journey.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a title to remember, Michigan State's championship journey. Our Spartan National Championship commemorative special takes a look back at MSU's title-winning season 25 years ago. Welcome, I'm Fred Heumann.
I'm Tim Stout. In fact, the Spartans' national championship game victory over Florida 25 years ago last night, April 3rd, 2000, at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis. Over the next hour, we will relive the memories and have some recent interviews with team members and coaches who experienced that national title. Tom Izzo's first and so far only national championship to date.
And who can ever forget the final seconds of that season?
And you can leave it to Cleves. He's running out onto the floor. He has reinstated the magic at Michigan State.
The play on words by Jim Nantz of CBS that night. Mateen Cleaves leading the Spartans to their first national title since the 1979 Magic Johnson-led team turned the trick 21 years earlier. A memorable and boisterous celebration on the floor after the horn sounded. Tom Izzo had his first national championship in his fifth season on the job. What a historic memory it is in Michigan State annals.
Yeah, that championship celebration created a lifetime memory for every player and coach on that 2000 championship team. That team remains close to this day, actually like a family. And it was back on February 8th this year when Michigan State hosted Oregon. There was a reunion that night for that championship team. Many of the players from the 2000 team made it back and were introduced to the Breslin Center crowd at halftime. They wore their championship rings that night, and then during the ceremony, Mateen Cleaves spoke to the MSU fans, thanked them for all their support over the years, and then Cleaves and teammate Morris Peterson talked about the memory of 25 years ago.
Running out to mid-court and hugging Mo Pete, and embracing all the players. That's what stands out to me. That moment, when it finally it was a thing. We actually won a national championship. So that is something that when that clock, said zero, I will never ever forget that moment.
Mo Cleaves said it best. We all just genuinely love each other and had a respect for each other. And going back on that court, bringing back memories and seeing all of us together. And that's something we talked about when we were younger, to do something special. We got an opportunity to do that, so I feel great.
Can you believe it's been 25 years?
Man, you know what? I got a couple grays on my hair, on my beard right now, so that's starting to remind me of the years. But you know what? Actually, I think that every year it gets better. It gets better. The importance of it. My kids starting to ask me questions more, and I think to be able to share it with them is a special moment for me.
We will hear much more from the two stars of the 2000 team later on in this program.
And who can ever forget all those high lobs from Cleaves to Mo Pete during that tournament run 25 years ago. When we come back, our title to remember National Championship special continues. The first part of our one-on-one interview with Tom Izzo, recalling those magic moments from the season and how that magic season was not without its pitfalls. That's coming up.
Open three. Yes.
So many memories from that Final Four run by the Spartans back in 2000, and who can ever forget when star Mateen Cleaves was injured during the national title game against Florida, hobbling off in great pain to the locker room to get medical attention. Fans wondering, would he ever come back? Then he did come back onto the floor, helping Michigan State to an 89-76 win over Florida, and later on crutches, limping across the stage at a championship rally to celebrate the title. What a gutty effort by Mateen Cleaves that night. Well, Tom Izzo was mighty glad his star captain had the wherewithal to come back that night, and nobody would ever believe that would stand to date as the only national championship Tom Izzo has won at Michigan State. But 8 Final Fours and nearly a ninth this last weekend, 11 trips to the Elite Eight. He certainly has come close, Fred, a number of different times.
Yeah, he has indeed, Tim. I sat down with Izzo for the show to get his memories of that championship season, how it came about and how it shaped his life. Remember, his daughter Rocky was just a very young lady 25 years ago. His team leader clearly was Mateen Cleaves, and a couple of Big Ten championships during his time at MSU had put those teams into a position to make a national title run.
Your memory of that night. I mean, I'm a reporter, all right? I've been doing this 45 years now. That's one of the highlights of my life. I can't imagine what it's like for you.
Well, my best memory was Mateen and I on the floor because, you know, I had lied to him and sold him a bill of goods. I was the used car salesman that sold him a beautiful car without an engine, you know, and told him we'd get to a Final Four. I didn't tell him we'd win it, so I didn't lie that much, but I said, we can get you on TV, we can do this, we can do that. And, you know, the hug, the look, the watching the one shining moment, and him saying, we did it, coach, you know, and it was, yeah, we did it, you know. You took a chance on me. You know, he broke the foot earlier in the year, and it was like nothing held us back. We did it.
You were in that 99 Final Four in St. Pete, I believe.
Yep.
Won 33 games, 15-1 in the Big Ten, lost to Duke. Did that motivate you for 2000 or not?
You know, it didn't have to motivate me. It was what the players said in the locker room right after the game, you know, Mateen and them, you know, coming back to win it. They were the motivating factors. We ended up getting the 1 seed, which means it put us in Cleveland, but more importantly, it put us in the Palace. And it was the first time I thought Michigan State took over the state. And that was riding to that game against Iowa State from the hotel, which wasn't far, but going by restaurants and gas stations and good luck Spartans, you know, and I said, we've arrived, you know, and that was the first time. Remember, now we just come off the Fab Five a couple years earlier in that, and God, that was a proud feeling.
And maybe two of the great games you've ever coached in, Syracuse and Iowa State.
Yeah, and the Syracuse game, we were down 14 at halftime, I believe, and that's when I walked into the locker room and Mateen was going off on the team, so I just grabbed a chair and sat down and said, don't let me worry you, you know, just keep saying what you're saying.
It was only your 5th year as head coach. Is that when you first learned the value of a player-coach team, perhaps?
Oh, Mateen taught me a lot of those things, you know, and I give him credit, and that looks like I'm slighting Morris or Andre or Charlie, or I'm not, but he just was the Pied Piper, you know, he was the leader. And there's one thing that Nick Saban said to me a year ago about, you know, players in this era and things that have changing, is winning as important as it used to be. Winning's always been important to me, but it was never as important as it was to him. Mateen was winning that championship was more important. You know, he had a remarkable career because he was hurt his first year and wasn't very good. In his second year, he scored, I think, 16 a game. His third year, I think it was 13 a game. And I think his fourth year was like 11 or 12. His point total went down and his assist total went up. People wouldn't do that nowadays. You know, it would be illegal to do that. And that's all he cared about. You know, when he set that record with 20 assists, he just kept telling guys in the huddle, you better get open because I'm getting you the ball. It was his senior night, you know, and yet he had bigger things that mattered to him. He was the consummate teammate. Him and that team made Tom Izzo, and then the rest of it, I kind of ham and egged it through.
Tom referred to Mateen's 20-assist game you saw in the video there. That was against Michigan that year when the Spartans beat the Wolverines 114-63, a 51-point MSU victory en route to the Big Ten championship. We'll have part 2 of my chat with Tom Izzo later in this show.
Good evening. We hope you're enjoying the Michigan State University men's basketball 2000 national championship game. I'm Ann Emmerich. It takes teamwork to win a championship. Here inside the Breslin Center, the 2 national championship trophies from 1979 and the year 2000, showing the unique legacy of this basketball program. By Coach Tom Izzo's side for some 22 years, assistant coach Mike Garland. In 2022, Coach Garland retired and just days later suffered sudden cardiac arrest. It was at that moment these two men realized teamwork can not only win championships, it can save lives. Memories of a storied career and a lot of pride on the walls in Mike Garland's home.
Yeah, it tells quite a story of what I've done over the last 25 years of being here.
He calls Tom Izzo his best friend. Their friendship goes all the way back to the 1970s when they were basketball teammates at Northern Michigan University.
I'm here because of a promise that I made to him. That, one day, he said one day I'm going to be a big-time coach and I need you to come and help me.
Over the years, these friends and their hearts turned boys into men and teams into champions.
After we won the national championship, Muhammad Ali invited us to his house for his son's birthday.
Really? Then there was the first ever basketball game on an aircraft carrier and meeting President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama.
And we talked just like we're talking, and in the end, we all took a picture together.
A rewarding life that in August, just 2 weeks into retirement, ended without any warning.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
I have a car accident. Where am I at? College Road and Holt Road.
Garland was driving to the bank with his wife when the electrical system in his heart failed. It's called VFib, and without help right away, it's deadly.
I see the tree, and I'm like, oh my God, we're getting ready to hit a damn tree. And then after that, it was just like, the airbag came out so fast. And then I look over at him and he's slumped. So I'm like, no, this can't be happening. So I'm speaking to God like, this is our latter days. He just retired, So how can you take him from me now? And they came up right at that moment and he answered my prayer. He brought the angels.
The angels, Jason Blackwell and John Drolette. Blackwell was the first to stop and call 911.
His eyes are open and he's not conscious.
All right, we need to start CPR, sir. Can you get him on the ground, flat on his back?
Two strangers working together to bring Garland back. Blackwell breathing into Garland's lungs, Drolette pumping his heart until sheriff's deputies took over.
All right. Okay, get that BVM out. I don't have a pulse.
With Garland showing no signs of life, deputies continue CPR and use a defibrillator to try to get his heart beating. 8 minutes into the response, Garland is still not breathing on his own.
Adam 5-8, we got one shock delivered with an AED. Time now. Go ahead, go. Are we on? Yep. Keep going up. Clear, clear, clear. Okay. Shock. Thank you. Yep. Adam 5-8, second shock advised, administered. Time now.
Medics give Garland another shock to the heart, and they're off to the hospital. Garland spent more than 24 hours on a ventilator. When he woke up, doctors told him it is amazing he's alive.
One of the doctors in the hospital said, if you had millions of dollars and you knew that this was going to happen to you, and you lined everything up to protect yourself, he said, I don't know if it could still work out for you.
Even the doctor said if we had been at home, he probably wouldn't have made it.
But he did, because within seconds, two men stopped, stepped up, and took action. 3 weeks later, Garland is still recovering, but feeling good enough to see a special visitor.
You're looking a lot better than the last time I saw you.
I bet. Oh, boy. Oh, man. It's really good to see you.
It's good to see you, too.
Appreciate it, man. As I was told, a lot of people drove right by me. And,
yeah.
You could have did the same, but you chose not to. You chose to be a decent human being.
I'm convinced that there's millions of people out there that would jump in to do what I did and what Jason Blackwell did in this situation. They just haven't been presented the opportunity. we were.
You know you're a good person. You believe you're a good person. People tell you you're a good person. But when you do this kind of good, you can't feel any better. It's not possible.
A lot of pride, and for Coach Tom Izzo, a grateful heart.
It was like a group of teams, and they all worked so well together. And in that video, you can see one passing the baton to the other, who passes it to the other. It was amazing. It made me feel good about our world that I don't often feel good about lately.
Joseph Pamos, how are you?
Hello, nice to meet you.
I was, yeah.
With a new appreciation for life and a heart known for building championship teams, Mike Garland wanted to meet the team of people who never gave up on him. The champions of his heart, each and every first responder, from the 911 operator to the doctors and nurses.
It took teamwork, and it's what I call maximum execution.
So good to see you.
That's what Michigan State basketball program has been about, and that's what happened that saved my life.
Coach Garland is now building a new team of champions, people who know how to respond to sudden cardiac arrest. Together with his wife Cynthia, they founded the Champions of the Heart Foundation. Since its first training session here at the Breslin Center nearly 2 years ago, doctors with the foundation have empowered hundreds of people to know how to do hands-only CPR and use an automated electronic defibrillator, or AED. From the Breslin Center to Augusta, Georgia to Ford Field, the Champions of the Heart Foundation is reaching out to give people these life-saving skills.
It just amazes me anytime, people will just casually ask me, hey, Coach, what are you doing right now? And I start to tell them about Champions of the Heart. And the willingness to, want to get involved is it's just amazing.
With each Champions of the Heart training session, Coach Garland shares his story, showing people how they can be a champion on a life-saving team.
The enthusiasm in this room is bone-chilling. I walked in, I went, wow.
The doctor who led Coach Garland's treatment at McLaren Greater Lansing Hospital, happy to see people aware and ready to save lives.
I think that's why what Coach Garland is doing for the community at large, not only in Lansing, but I think he's planning to go all around the country, which I think is phenomenal. And I think every individual above the age of 15 should learn how to do CPR, because you never know.
Dr. Gandhi, among nearly 200 people who attended the first Champions of the Heart Gala last year, a fundraiser to help the organization offer free CPR and AED training for everyone. Coach Garland honoring the two heroes who stopped on the side of the road to save his life.
Bringing awareness and helping other people is really what this is all about, and I'm proud to be a little tiny part.
Coach Izzo, Mateen Cleaves, and Coach Garland, 3 members of the 2000 National Championship team, will headline this year's Champions of the Heart Gala at the Breslin Center on April 24th. You can get your ticket by scanning the QR code on your screen right now. So as we celebrate 25 years since the Spartan Men's Basketball National Championship, we celebrate life and the legacy built right here at the Breslin Center. Just as basketball brings us together, so does Champions of the Heart. So now get ready for the second half of the game and go green.
Cleaves, open three. Yes.
Welcome back to News 10's coverage of the 25th anniversary of Michigan State's National Basketball Championship. And before the break, you heard One Shining Moment, the iconic anthem capping off the March Madness tournament every year.
Yeah, what you may not know is that song has its origins right here at Mid-Michigan. Tonight, David Andrews takes a look at the amazing story behind the song that has become synonymous with March Madness.
Fears to the rim. He'll lay it in.
From the heroics and heartbreak to the buzzer beaters and Cinderella stories that make March magic, it's the song that ends the NCAA basketball tournament with a montage of memories.
The ball is tipped.
One Shining Moment was written by this man, David Barrett.
It's a little bit of a
tiny miracle the way this all fell together.
While the song was recorded in this studio in Ann Arbor, Barrett's inspiration for it came while he was watching Larry Bird on TV at the Varsity Inn Bar in East Lansing in 1986.
And I was saying, you know, Larry Bird's in the zone tonight.
Barrett found himself trying to explain the beauty of basketball to an uninterested waitress.
Watch the poetry of basketball unfold.
You always did your best.
The next moment, he was grabbing a pen and napkin.
I wrote down on a napkin, "One Shining Moment."
He had the title, and the very next day wrote the lyrics and music in less than 30 minutes.
In one shining moment, it's all on the line.
A good friend got his demo cassette of One Shining Moment to a CBS sports executive. The phone rang a week later.
He said, "I'm Doug Tuohy from CBS, and we love your song."
But CBS didn't initially love it for basketball, instead asking Barrett,
"Would you mind if we use it for the Super Bowl?" And I said, "Yeah, terribly. No way."
Super Bowl 21 in 1987 went long. One Shining Moment was cut.
So when things didn't work out with the Super Bowl, they went long. Doug, the same guy, called me back and said, we love your song and we want to use it for the NCAA men's side. And what do you think? I said, that's why I wrote it, for that very thing.
Barrett was at a downtown Lansing bar watching Bobby Knight and his Indiana Hoosiers win the national championship when he heard his performance of One Shining Moment.
Honestly, David, it was so moving because it was exactly what I had in mind.
Now it shows.
One Shining Moment has been airing after the championship game ever since, performed by Barrett and a variety of artists, Teddy Pendergrass, Jennifer Hudson, and for the past 22 years, the late Luther Vandross. The accolades Barrett received for One Shining Moment launched his composing career, writing music for the Olympic Games, Emmy-winning scores for PBS documentaries, but he's best known for a song that remains a fixture of March Madness. Do you ever tire of this song?
You know, I don't. We're about 38 years in, and that is, you know, that's ridiculous, but it's, I'm happily so.
Yeah.
Yeah, very satisfied.
One shining moment, they're frozen.
It's a tournament tradition, the championship team pausing to relive their journey through his song. Barrett carries a reminder of that significance in his wallet.
It reminds me of what we created here, and it captures their one shining moment.
One man's moment of inspiration became the soundtrack to some of the most unforgettable moments in college basketball history on the game's biggest stage. In Ann Arbor, David Andrews, News 10.
Yeah, David Barrett plans to be in San Antonio on Monday night when another championship team is crowned and One Shining Moment is played once again.
What a great piece. Back at the Jack Breslin Student Event Center, over 14,000 students packed the stands for Spartan games. But out of that sea of green and white, there's one person that has danced her way into our lives. Amaya Kuznicki takes us into the journey of Jane, the dancing lady.
As Spartan fans cheer for their basketball team, energy fills the arena both on the court and in the stands. But there is one person that stands out.
I'm very much a cheerleader in everything I do.
Jan Allman has been a fixture at Michigan State University men's basketball games since 1968.
So we would just go to East Lansing, go to the game, stay overnight, and hopefully there was a win out of it.
Jan has seen it all when looking back at her memories of the 2000 NCAA National Championship team. She remembers riding on the team bus and talking to Tom Izzo's daughter, Raquel.
She looks up at me in those big brown eyes and she says, Jan, if Dad and the boys win tonight, we're going to be champions of the universe. It was just priceless.
Although Jan might bleed green and white now, that wasn't always the case.
I was really interested in going out east.
Well, on her pit stop, Allman spoke with MSU faculty, and she felt the Spartan spirit empowering.
I knew in my head and my heart this was a spot for me.
Jan is a staple at Spartan games. She can be seen dancing and cheering on the team. She says that you should always just try to do something new and be different.
When people ask you to do things or try hard stuff, do it. If it's legal and it's not going to hurt you or anybody else, go for it.
Dancing Jan, chili and lime.
Her dancing brought her the attention of Blue Diamond Almonds as they brought her in to dance for her own flavor of nuts.
I'm so nuts about my Big Ten team. Blue Diamond named an almond after me.
Dancing and giving Spartans motivation. Amaya Kuznicki, News 10.
Thanks, Amaya. I've been covering Michigan State basketball now for parts of 5 decades. Jan Allman is as much of an institution as the Izzone and the Pac Band on MSU's sidelines.
Next, on A Title to Remember, with championship in hand, it was time to let the celebration begin. News 10 broadcasts the parade live to welcome back home the national champions that April day. We'll show you how the capital city turned into Title Town when we return.
Bell over to Richardson.
This has been a fun night. Welcome back to the News 10 Sports special coverage of A Title to Remember, Michigan State's 2000 National Championship. You know, after winning the national title, fans greeted the Spartan basketball team with a parade down Michigan Avenue at a celebration at the state capitol.
And News 10's Ben Holden, he was with us at the time, followed the team all season for us. So here is his report from 25 years ago as our community came out to cheer on the new national champions.
Lansing rolled out the green carpet from the steps of the state capitol to Spartan Stadium and all points in between for fans to welcome home their favorite sons.
Perhaps a new symbol for the state. Out with the Wolverine, in with Sparty.
If we'd written this ahead of time, the struggle over these years, the last game and the games before, we would have said, oh, that's just a story.
So I want you all to think of this as a key to our hearts.
From the Supremes of the Michigan One Court of Justice to the Supremes of the Court of Basketball, we love you.
The Parade of Champions in the 21st century marks a celebration it took 21 years to achieve. The 2000 championship is the first for Michigan State basketball since 1979.
I'd like to thank all the teachers out there for canceling class today.
I'd like to thank the coaches for giving me the opportunity to play here. I'd like to thank the players for sending us seniors out on a right note.
The parade also honored area high school boys and girls basketball teams who reached at least the state semifinals. An estimated 35,000 lined the parade route.
It's overwhelming. These people, this community has been incredible, and I just hope that they enjoyed as much as we have, because they've been great.
Down Michigan Avenue, the men of the hour were welcomed by 25,000 more fans inside the stadium, plus a visit from the other team to beat Florida in the postseason.
You show what true fans are. I'd just like to thank my team. They put me on an incredible ride this season, and I was just happy to be part of it.
I want to thank y'all for standing behind us, not only at this time, but at the bad times. And I just wanted to let you know, this is just the start of something great.
What's up? People call me crazy for not going to Michigan, not going to Kentucky, not going to North Carolina, and not taking that money last year. But Michigan, North Carolina, and Kentucky, and money, you can't buy that, you have to earn that. Thanks a lot.
I was covering that team in Detroit at the time, and I covered the team and was at the championship game, and I was at that rally at the stadium, but I wasn't at the parade. 35,000, is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, and plus all of Spartan Stadium. What's remarkable to me since then, they've made the NCAA tournament every year since then to right now, and Tom Izzo has now won more Big Ten games than any other coach in Big Ten history, and who would have known it then? But it's remarkable.
It's been a remarkable era that started back there.
What a night.
Yeah, and with this year's team propelling Tom Izzo on to his 11th Elite Eight, it appears that the glory has returned to the Spartan program.
On behalf of all of our News 10 sports team, we wish you a very good evening and weekend. We leave you with highlights from Michigan State's championship game.